Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mupo and Friends. We are,
Jessilyn Persson,
and I'm Michele Mupo.
and we're brought to you by Mupo TV.
And you could catch all our shows and others at www.mupotv.com. That's www.mupotv.com. And make sure you stay tuned in at 2 p.m. every Sunday, where you can check out Mupo and Friends. And if you want to learn about the company, it's mupoentertainment.com. And if you want to see other shows and other really good shows we have coming out too, you go to mupotv.com. That's it.
That is it, mupotv.com. And as you said, 2 p.m. Sundays is when we premiere our interviews with celebrities. And you just never know what a celebrity is going to tell us because we ask some awesome questions that stump them. And they give us information that they haven't told others before. So, Michele,
Right on.
did you have a Mupo awesome week?
I did have a Mupo awesome week. How about you? Did you
I
have a
did.
Mupo awesome week?
I
Well,
did.
I'm gonna say that I'm very excited about this guest because obviously you could say why, but don't say who it is.
I wouldn't say who it is, not yet. But I'm excited because he was raised in the town I currently live in.
And I'm excited because I watch all these shows that he's on, so it's pretty cool. We're gonna take a quick commercial break and we will be right back.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Mupo and Friends. Our special guest today is an actor, producer, and New Year's Eve newlywed. At one time known to romance fans as the guy who doesn't get the girl. Not only has that changed on screen, he got the girl in real life too. A veteran of Lifetime and Hallmark, he's also been in a variety of TV series, including Unreal, Supernatural, Arrow, Once Upon a Time, and The Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce. Please welcome Marcus Rosner. Hi, Marcus. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Hi,
Wow, that sounds
Marcus.
impressive when you lay it all out like that.
We really do try to have good intros. So congratulations on your recent marriage in Guatemala. Can you tell us
Yeah,
about that?
yeah, absolutely. I got married in Guatemala on New Year's. Yeah, me and my wife which is very weird to say. We've been together for 9 years now, so it was about time, and we wanted to do it somewhere that we'd never been, and drag all of our friends from Sherwood Park and other places down to Central America, and yeah, we just wanted to go to a beautiful tropical place that we could all sort of spend time discovering together, and yeah, it was really magical. So
It does sound magical. So, what was it like filming Christmas with a Crown in your hometown?
Christmas with a Crown, yeah, we filmed that in early 2020, and that was the first time I've ever filmed anything in Edmonton, which is well, if you really know me, I'm from Sherwood Park, which is a suburb of Edmonton. But Edmonton is the bigger city by far, and so and nothing really films there. Not very many things anyway, as far as I'm aware. And so the chance to film like one of the Christmas movies that I do so often was pretty incredible. I was invited by a friend who's a producer, and they knew that I star in these movies all the time, and I was just weirdly in this serendipitous situation because they didn't even know that I was from Edmonton, and so it was great. It was really cool.
Hmm. Now, if you were royalty, do you think it would be fun to pretend to be a commoner like Prince Nicholas did?
I would love to go the other way. I don't know why. I don't know. I've never been royalty, and I've definitely been a commoner. So the thought of flipping it around isn't totally exciting to me. So I don't know why he would do that.
So, what was it like getting a shout out of sorts on Stephen Colbert's show?
Yeah, that was wild. That was crazy. I was actually having my bachelor party, and we were all pretty intoxicated. And then somebody just pulled up on their phone that it had just aired, and we all went pretty nuts because I've been in lots of these movies, I've been in lots of TV shows, but I've certainly never been invited to be on Stephen Colbert, and perhaps never will. But that little shout out was pretty. It was pretty cool to see, and just to see our little hometown movies poster plastered up there on his set, and yeah, it was really neat.
And how did you get involved with producing?
Yeah, it was Christmas with the Crown was the first foyer into that realm. They invited me to come on and be an executive producer, and I kind of sunk my teeth into it, and just wanted to learn as much as I possibly could. And because I'm from Edmonton, I was pulling out friends and family to come be extras. I was like looking for locations and stuff. And so we did that film. And then after that, I just wanted to do more and more. And so I kind of recruited those guys to be co-producers, and went out and found scripts, and put together a couple movies now. And we're going to keep doing that, hopefully in Edmonton. And yeah, maybe in Guatemala, actually. We're thinking about trying to do one there. So.
That's awesome. So what was the first Broadway show you saw that inspired you to go into acting?
Jersey Boys was the first big like musical that I saw. We saw what's the one where they drum on trash cans, and this is back in like
Oh yeah,
2007.
those kids used to be outside of Lisa's townhome every day
No
doing that.
way.
We used to drop them money every time I was there.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it was so cool to see that one. Me and my mom went on a trip to New York in 2007 after I graduated, and that's what made me want to become an actor. And we saw those drummer guys, and we saw Jersey Boys. And I think that's all that we saw at that time. But that really was pretty wild, and I didn't think I was gonna like it. And lo and behold, I made a career out of it. Sort of, not singing and dancing, but yeah.
Hmm. Now you said you were poor growing up. What was your first splurge
My
when you
first
started working?
splurge, man, what was I remember I did this little commercial, and they paid me like $3,000, and I just I mean I was like 20 years old, so it was like probably at a bar I was just buying everybody drinks was the first big one. Or I remember greasing a bouncer to get like 10 of us into a bar, and I felt like a big hot shot. So maybe that was my first splurge. I don't,
Nice.
lots of trips. I'm not very materialistic. I'm very experiential, and so it's just been a lot of trips and big experiences.
Hmm. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
And we're back with Marcus Rosner. You often played the hero, but also the villain. What are the advantages to both?
You know what? I played the villain early and often, and I've heard from so many actors that it's always more fun. And I don't know if it's just because I had to do it so much in the beginning that I just kind of grew to hate it. It's very alienating on the set, especially if you come in and you do a guest star role, or like you do a few episodes and you're the villain. And if you do it, I don't know, well, then there's like this weird underlying tension between you and the regular cast. At least that's what I found. Maybe they just didn't like me. Who knows? Um, but no, when I finally got to be like the hero, it felt more natural. It felt more fun. It's harder to find ways to be nice and interesting, I think, for actors, and I like that challenge.
Well, Once Upon a Time was a fantasy within a fantasy. How do you prepare for a role like that?
I mean, that I wish I had a bigger part on that show, because that show's pretty cool. The premise, anyways. But I was pretty small. I think it was the Frozen storyline. They did like half a season, and they did Frozen, and they cast all the main characters. And Hans, I think was his name, was like the evil guy. And then in the movie, they make a quick reference to Hans's 13 brothers, and I just played one of the brothers. I was like the main brother who kind of drove him to be a jerk, but but I was pretty minimal. I was around a bunch, and we got to do some really cool things, like be on this pirate ship on this big green screen set, and do a lot of really interesting costumes and stuff like that. But man, I think my preparation for that role was reading one line in an audition and getting cast because I looked like the guy that they hired to play Hans. So that was it.
So after being in Unreal, do you think you'd ever want to do reality TV?
Oh, I would never. No, I would never do reality TV. Yeah, I just couldn't do it. Because it's not reality. You know what I could do is Big Brother, maybe something like that, where it does seem like the producers are not entirely manipulating the outcomes. But man, I know people, especially doing Unreal, you heard from so many producers on there that had also done reality TV. I just know other people in the industry who do reality TV. And it's all a fix. It's all like set up, and
Yes,
I
it
mean,
is.
it's all in the editing. And so they can really sabotage you if you're a subject on those shows. So I wouldn't want to do that.
Now, do you find the film industry in the U.S. To be different from, being in Canada?
No, in a way, it's a cross-border industry, because all the stuff that we're making is for the American audience generally. I mean, when we produce the films that we produce, we sell them to both the States and Canada and Europe and South America and all these places, but they are all designed with an eye on the American audience. And things like some of the shows that you mentioned that I've been on, Unreal, Once Upon a Time, all these things, they're American shows anyway. They just come up here because it's more cost effective to shoot. So no, I don't think there's much of a difference.
So since you're a lifelong candy junkie, what is your favorite candy at the moment?
You guys have done your research. Well, you're in Sherwood Park, so maybe you just asked your neighbor or something who probably knows me. Um, you said my favorite candy, right? That was the question.
Yep.
I have been a lifelong connoisseur of those little like 5-cent banana marshmallow candies, and those red strawberry ones that, yeah, those, they're such garbage, and I just love them, and I don't know why. And everybody always makes fun of me for it, but those are my favorites.
Yeah, my oldest loves those. You
Mm,
can have them. All right, we're going to
good
take a quick
taste.
commercial break and we'll be right back.
And we're back with Marcus Rosner. Now, what is your go-to distraction when life gets tough?
Oh, the gym probably. Um, yeah, it's funny. Physical fitness. I thought for the longest time that it was like 90% vanity for me and 10% mental. And now I'm as I in my 30s, I'm pretty certain it's like 50-50 at least. Because if I don't work out for a few days, I could definitely feel myself get bummed. And all the lockdowns and everything, it's been really eye opening when they do shut down the gyms, how quickly my mental state diminishes. So.
Yeah, fair enough. So you've played a pilot and took flying lessons in real life. When and where did you last fly?
Oh man, I wish I had like some awesome, cool flight resume that I could cite. But my my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, it was like my 25th or 26th birthday, and she got me like a 1-day lesson, just so I could put it on my acting resume and just so I could experience it. And so I flew for 1 day and 1 day only, and they were like, it was shocking how much control this guy let me have. I think it was just like a random dude she found on Craigslist or something, but he let me land this plane in a field, and like, it was bizarre, but it was a 1-day event. And I don't let me fly your planes because I will crash them.
Oh boy. Well, you posted about working with some 3D equipment on Instagram. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's the future. Hopefully for me and my team. My co-producing partner, Dylan Pierce, who directs the movies that we make in Edmonton. He lives and works in Edmonton. Him and I wrote a script this past year, currently titled Legends of Conquest, and it's about the past and present of video games. Sort of fuses the arcade age with the present day esports, giant arena stuff. And he has a long-standing presence in the 3D film world. He's won awards for work he's done in that field before. And so our dream project now is Legends of Conquest. And so we are quietly and slowly assembling a team and investors, and finessing our script. And hopefully that movie sees the light of day one day. It's a very ambitious project, so it's going to take some time. But yeah.
Cool. So what keeps you focused and at the top of your game?
Just finding newer and bigger ambitions, I think. Yeah, and it's tough sometimes because you'll achieve things that you didn't think you would, and then you sort of are left looking around, wondering what's next for a couple weeks or a couple months, and those are hard times. I find I'm best when I'm in pursuit of something, and so as long as you keep the goals big, then I think you have a good chance of pacing yourself along the way. But yeah, I guess just keep dreaming is a cliche that makes sense there.
And what are your up and coming projects that we could look forward to seeing?
Yeah, well, the aforementioned Legends of Conquest is hopefully that'll be the big one. I did a movie for BuzzFeed Studios, the brand new BuzzFeed Studios, who have partnered with Lionsgate Films, a movie
Nice.
called My Fake Boyfriend, and it stars Dylan Sprouse, Sarah Hyland, Keenan Lonsdale, and myself. I don't know how I snuck in there, but I was lucky to have done so, and I think that's going to come out in June. And then I got a few things in the can. Well, we just did one in Edmonton called For the Love of Pasta, which is the current title. Who knows if that's what the title is once it airs on Up TV or Hallmark or GAC or wherever it ends up airing. But we did that one. We're editing that right now. Actually, that's what I'm going to run to do after this is continue editing that movie. But so we're editing that. So yeah, that's a few of the projects that come to mind right now. I'm sure there's more, but.
Awesome. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be back with the conclusion of our interview with Marcus.
Wait, you want some more? Wait, you want some more? Okay. Wait, you want some more? Wait, you want some more?
And we're back with Marcus Rosner. So Marcus, before we wrap things up, we have one last question. If you were to interview yourself, what question would you ask and what would the answer be?
Wow, what a what an existential stunner of final question. Just coming in light there on the end, eh? Man, I have no idea. Let me think of something real quick. What would I wish I could ask myself what's next and know the answer, I guess. Where will you be 5 years from now? Where will you be 1 year from now? And if I had the answer, it would be making Legends of Conquest that I've been talking about, I guess, in 1 year. And then in 5 years, it'd be making Legends of Conquest 3 and developing the cinematic universe around it or something. I don't know. Yeah, you guys stump me.
That's awesome. Thank you. It's been a pleasure visiting with you. Look for Marcus Rosner in Christmas with a Crown and The Killer in the Guest House on the Lifetime Movie Club or Amazon Prime. A Vineyard Romance on Amazon Prime, Arrow on Netflix, and Unreal on Hulu. You can follow, like, and subscribe to Marcus on Facebook under Real Marcus Rosner, on Instagram under Marcus_Rosner, and on Twitter at @BMarcusRosner.
And as always, thank you for tuning in to Mupo and Friends, courtesy of Mupo TV. And you could catch this show and many others at mupotv.com. That's www.mupotv.com.
This is Jessilyn Persson with our host, Michele Mupo. Until next time.
Have a Mupo awesome week.